YouTube, you already know. Big Lou tapping back in. One more again. But what it do with Big Lou NFZR2? Baby, baby. Fire! So check it out. Old Carnival Clown himself is at it again, right? He's at it again. He's losing it upstairs, right? Oh, man. He's confusing an old black man with an old white man, solely based on it appears to be because their last name is Brown. He's confused. He's got him confused. Same way he called Ronnie Jackson, Ronnie Johnson. Same way he keeps calling uh, Nikki Haley, Nancy Pelosi, or Nancy Pelosi, Nikki Haley. You know, Sioux Falls, Sioux City. You know, so on and so forth. Uh, this is during his little pout session at Mar-a-Lago the other day. You know, complaining that they don't even. He had 110,000 in New Jersey. He had maybe 20,000, right? Because the venue only held 20,000. The Secretary of State of New Jersey said that it only held 20,000. I believe it's not the Secretary of State. I think it was I believe it was the Secretary of State of New Jersey. It was somebody in government. If it wasn't the Secretary of State, it might have been. Might have been. I don't think the Attorney General would have said that. Yeah, it had to be the. Anyways, it was somebody that said the venue held 20,000. This guy's talking about 110,000, and he acts like there's no proof of cameras, pictures. You know, just like he said, his inauguration day was bigger than Obama's. It wasn't even nowhere near. Just like he said, January 6th crowds bigger than the Million Man March crowd. It's like that. That even if it was, that shouldn't even be an issue. I mean, that shouldn't even be an issue for him after what happened January 6th, right? You would think, right? But that's where everything gets tainted and distorted with this guy and all these people that follow him. You know, this dude wasn't lying when he said he could shoot somebody in the middle of Fifth Avenue and wouldn't lose no votes. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's damn near literally. That's what it's literally came down to. Even though it's not totally true because you got a lot of people that left him solely because of January 6th. Um, so he's basically just playing to his base, right? It's his base. He gives us red meat to. He did, always denying, lying, just lies upon lies upon lies. These are the two favorite ones they like to say that that Democrats are allowing babies to be born at not even born. He calls it aborting them at 8 months, 9 months old, and once the baby's born, they put the baby on the side and turn around and talk to the mother all and figure out what they're gonna do, right? That's called childbirth. That's what that's called, dummy. You big old dummy. You think you're so damn smart. You're not smart at all. You're a big old doofus, right? Always about me, 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 me. Every answer. I heard a guy. It was Fox News. The black dude was the was the commentator, and he was at the crowd at a crowd, and Trump was on the phone. The guy was a biker, and he got up and he asked the question. He said, "Hey, what are you gonna do to bring down the cost of living? The rent and stuff like that." He says, "I got 8 kids, between my real kids and my step kids," and he says, three of his kids he supports out of his own wallet, and it's getting tough, and he's worried about them for the future. And what does he say? Oh, that's a really nice question, but he don't even answer it, and he goes right into bragging about himself. How many people were there for him? It's like ludicrous. Where's this guy's brain at? Mind? It's all about me, 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 me. And I don't see how people can't see that. It's clear as day, right in front of you. He can't hide it because that's how bad of a narcissist. That's how bad of a narcissist he is. You know. But anyways, back to the story. So this guy claims that in 2018 or 2019, he was on a helicopter with Willie Brown, the former mayor of San Francisco, and they had to uh, have an emergency. They had to land emergency in an emergency landing in a field, and that he says Willie Brown was scared to death because he said they both thought it was going to be it. Well, come to find out, Willie Brown's never been in a helicopter with him, and on top of that, it was Jerry Brown, who was the governor of California at the time, and his lieutenant governor Gavin Newsom was also on the helicopter, and he was also the governor elect. So Jerry Brown was on his way out, Gavin Newsom was on his way in, but he was still lieutenant governor at the time, and he was governor elect. He said they did not land in no field. Uh, and it was during the fires, some of the fires that he was coming to check out here in California. You know what I'm saying? But then he goes one step further even than that and says that Willie Brown was talking shit about Kamala Harris. Like, this dude's messy, man. That's why I call him Donnie Girl. That's why I call him Donnie the Drama Queen, because that's what he's about. He's about stirring up shit. He's about gossiping, running his mouth like a female does, right? And I'm talking about females that like to start shit with people's families, people's friends. That's what I'm referring to. I don't mean just ladies in general. I'm talking about those ones that's what they're about. That telephone Tilly type. That's what I'm talking about. Remember what this guy used to do back in the 80s and 90s? He would call tabloids and give up information, acting like he's somebody else. He's not. Acting like he's somebody giving bragging or something about Trump. You know what I'm saying? And he would call in too, sometimes acting like somebody else. I forgot the name he used to use. This dude's and he's still all about ratings. That's what he's about. He's got to be part of the news cycle. That's why he had that thing at Mar-a-Lago the other day, because Vice President Kamala Harris is getting a lot of attention, right? The difference between 2020 and 2024 was they knew, the people knew they were going to come out and vote big to keep him from getting in. Just so happened that his people voted big to keep him in, and Biden's people, and I won't really call them all Biden people. It was more of, let's get that dodo bird out of there, right? He's a shitty leader. He led us real shitty through the pandemic, right? And it showed, right? Everybody's forgetting about that. I don't understand. Your memory's that short term, you can't remember. I mean, they can't honestly sit there and say, "Are you better off today than 4 years ago?" No, they can't say that. Where was this? Remember this? You guys know what this is, right? This was nowhere to be found. Bottled water, nowhere to be found. Hand sanitizer, nowhere to be found. It's insane how people forget, right? But come to find out, like I said, it was Jerry Brown, another old white guy, right? And he got Willie Brown, an old black guy. Willie Brown's 90 years old, and he got them confused, right? I mean, that's best bet. He got them confused, But like I said, he likes to be with this, ratings, all about me. Focus on my crowds. Focus on all these people. They like me a lot. Why would he always repeat that? They like me a lot. Why is he so? Why is he so unsure that if his wife loves him or even likes him? You know what I'm saying? That didn't sound weird. If you got a wife, you it should be automatic that she loves you, right? Especially if you've been together for a while like that. But see, that's not a real marriage right there. What they got going on. See, he like to have her, and I'll keep it real, and I don't care who likes it or not. There ain't no way in hell you're telling me she's coming over here and she meets him and she's just head over heels over Donald Trump because of Donald Trump the person. Come on, man. He's such a strange looking individual, especially in the 80s. He looked funny. He looked even funnier in the 80s and 90s. He looked funnier. You know what I'm saying? So, it was all security for her. That's why she's always renegotiating her prenuptial agreement and all that, for her son to make sure he's set. She's got to be set, of course. I mean, look at people are donating money now, and a lot of the money they're donating is going towards her hairdresser and her stylist and all that. I think the number was $18,000 a month was going to her stylist from the PAC money that he gets, right? I mean, people need to wake up. You're not there. You're there to donate to his campaign, right? Not his lifestyle. It's crazy, right? It's crazy. Remember, he said he didn't need nobody's money. He said all that. He didn't need nobody's money. So it's just comical how this dude operates, how he moves. Um, people say, "Oh, he's a gangster." How's he a gangster? He's a gangster. He's a gangster because what? Oh, he tells it like it is, and he says whatever's on his mind. He don't have a filter, but at the same time, he acts like a little whiny little brat, like a little boy. They got their ball taken at the schoolyard. You know what I'm saying? He's pouting about it. Ain't nothing about that gangster. Nothing. You know what I'm saying? Nothing about that's gangster. And when you're talking about the president of the United States, president of the United States should never have uh, the word gangster in the same sentence along with his name not for the reasons that this guy's been given. Now, if you're tough on Vladimir Putin, stuff like that, okay, I can see maybe, oh yeah, he's gangster. But no, all he does is he's a sucker when it comes to Vladimir Putin and all that. All he wants to do is string, what's the word? I don't want to keep it clean, right? He all he does is when it comes to Putin and Kim Jong Un and Xi Jinping and all them dudes, all he and Viktor Orban, he likes to praise him up, put him on a pedestal. I'll just say it like that because he wants to be like that so bad. But this is not what this idea here in the United States was not built on that. You know what I mean? And it should never even be thought of. It shouldn't even be entertained. But yet here we got this clown over here. You know what I'm saying? The Supreme Court says that he can do this and he can do that. You know, well, they said that the president. And yeah, it'll be like that for now. But I guarantee you, President Biden was to try to do some of that stuff he did. I guarantee when any lawsuits came or anything came and it got up to the Supreme Court, I bet you they would have a different opinion in the ruling than they did for this dodo bird, Donald Dump, right? So now he I'm gonna in the description I'm gonna put a link to a video. Uh, it's only like 8-9 minute video. It gives some background on what's going on and the person that's involved as far as the I think it's the New York Times, but it's the person that he contacted, Maggie Haberman, and he says, "Oh, we found uh, flight information of the helicopter and all that. It was Willie Brown." And then he spews off he's gonna sue. So again, a gangster always threatens to sue and tries to sue when there's nothing even there. And what's so stupid about it is that this dude always tries to sue people, but then when the ruling comes down, his lawsuit's shot down, and then he still has to pay for the other party's attorney and all that. You know what I'm saying? Filing fees and everything else like that. So it's stupid. He's a straight dodo bird, and to continue to go down this route of questioning Kamala Harris's bloodline, her racial mix, her racial makeup, and to question Tim Walz's military career. Um, those are two bad things. Those are two bad rabbit holes to go down. Um, because for one, you got a guy who dodged the draft by saying bone spurs, and he was out of school when he was eligible for a few of the drafts or whatever. He played basketball and everything else. Okay, then you got the other one who's changed his name so many times and is married to an Indian lady, which means their kids are half Indian. Means they're biracial. Their racial makeup is mixed, and one of the nationalities happens to be the same the vice president is. You know what I'm saying? And it's all good in Hollywood, and it just shows how that this dude is a chameleon. He's changed his name I don't know how many times, but what it shows is at the end of the day that these people are so power thirsty, power hungry, and I'm speaking of both JD Vance and his wife, that she's willing to. They both did a complete 360 on what they originally said, right? On what they originally said on their so wow, almost had an accident right now, and the old man was driving the white car and the Honda, and he stopped because I was looking, and I said, damn, they're almost gonna hit. And then he stopped enough time, but then they just stayed there. They both stayed there without moving. One get out the way. But anyways, that's why my mom always say you got to be a defensive driver. You got to watch what you're doing and what the best of your ability on all the other drivers are doing, right? So, anyways, you got these people like I say, this Vance family, right? Usha Vance and JD Vance. It's more important for them, her to follow, to be there for her man, right, her husband, and for her husband to do whatever it takes, no matter how ugly it gets, no matter how. Especially when you talk about somebody's service, that shouldn't even be touched at all. Especially a man that put 24 years in. I mean, he went 4 years more than he really had to. I think you get 20 years, you get full. I believe you in the military, 20 years you get full retirement. I believe so. He put 4 more in. Did he have to really do that? And then this guy who only served a sixth of what he served is going to run his mouth when he was just a correspondent. He's writing stories. You know what I'm saying? But because he was in Iraq and he's going to question, well, that's for another video. I don't want to get too much in that. So, anyways, it just shows that they're power hungry and that they're willing to turn the other cheek, and put blinders on no matter what is being said, or in this case, being said by the sword, being JD Vance. You know what I'm saying? He's offended so many people. It's crazy, disgusting how they can have any still have any backers, especially ex-military people. This is something you don't do. I mean, it's surprising to me that they're going down this route. You know what I'm saying? Going down this hole. But anyways, that's this video. I'm going to shut this down. I thought it was only going to be a 10-minute video. Look, and I'm already at 16 because it's just so hard with all this political stuff. The content just don't stop. I mean, every day there's something, multiple things every day. So right now at the end of that video, I kind of threw in 2 or 3 other things on top of what the original video was about, which I shouldn't have done because I shouldn't have done it. Put it that way. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and shut this one down. Big Lou tapping out.